What's happening, Peter here? Hey, thanks again for joining me. I wanted to do a quick rant. I actually just had a conversation that inspired me to jump back on the microphone here, and it was about a business. And basically, what you may not know is that I've had my hand in small businesses in the past, some entrepreneurial projects, sometimes just projects within a larger company, sometimes they're pilots, whatever. And so I've actually had the chance to see some things get developed with some funding, without some funding, bootstrap some stuff. I've done a lot of stuff on my own, and I have some experience in whether you're running a business, starting a business, just finding something as a side hustle, trying to determine if something should just be a hobby. And I've had some of my stinkers in there, more than I would have liked, because I definitely would rather have them as successes, but then some other successes too. And I still do some stuff, as you might know, on YouTube. That's where I'm doing stuff right now, and on this podcast, and I've got some other little projects and stuff like that, and real estate and whatnot. Anyway, my whole point is that every now and then people will come to me and ask me for my opinions on things, and I could do a whole negative story on all of the signals I pick up that tell me someone is going to fail. Because I think there is a lot of misconception. There's a lot of misconceptions about starting a business, that you will not only generate enough income to live on, but that's where all the surplus income comes from. And that when we look at other businesses, all the top CEOs and the investors and everyone's getting rich, and all the workers are not getting by. And what you never see, because I've been there, are owners working twice as hard, 3 times as hard as everyone, putting in the long hours, but paying money out of their savings accounts, not taking any income. So there's always this image that there is always this surplus money, and all you have to do is be willing to get into it. And so it's created this culture where entrepreneurship is celebrated and glorified and held up on a pedestal and has this crazy aura around it. And most of the time it is just a slog. And most people that I find that have been as successful as entrepreneurs did not want to become entrepreneurs. They wanted to solve a problem. They wanted to fill a gap. They wanted to address a need that they saw out there. And after exhausting all the easier options, all the options that put them at less risk personally, they decided to go ahead and risk their own money, risk their own capital, put in all their blood, sweat, and tears and extra time to make it happen. And that's where they found success. And yet people come up to me, and one of the things that I use to find out if I think that their head is in the right place and if they even have a shot at becoming successful, what's the vision? What's the future? And there's really 2 big camps of answers that I get. And one of them is, hey, I want to be in that big corner office with 15-foot glass walls looking over the city, and I'm a titan of industry. And that just is very clear. It's pretty obvious. That is to serve themselves. And in fact, I never heard anything about the business. It's really to create their financial dreams or whatever. And I'm not saying that you can't get into business and have that, but when that is the vision, when that is the point on the horizon that you're marching to, then kind of anything that isn't getting you there quickly is irrelevant. And whatever business you're in, organic teas or concierge level oil changes, or I don't know, grocery delivery on demand, it doesn't really matter. None of those will get you there fast enough. And in a lot of cases, they will be abandoned because they aren't producing enough income right away. The other type of answer that I will generally get is that I want to create the best pulled pork or barbecue sandwiches. I just think that the way they do it on food trucks, or provide them in restaurants, or package them in a warehouse and send them out to franchises is wrong. Or I want to paint the greatest dog pictures in the world of people's pets. And that's what I want to focus on, because I just don't think people celebrate those family members enough, and there's nothing permanent about it. Those are the types of things I want to hear. I want to hear about the passion for what you're doing, because what ends up becoming subservient to that is the making of the money, the income. And so when you're not driven by the income, and I'm not saying that income is irrelevant, what I'm saying is that people prioritize it so much higher, prioritize it above anything else. And the method of making the money is actually irrelevant. What they want is a method to make a money, which is what I think then creates this confusion and lack of focus and lack of commitment and lack of passion and desire, and to pull long hours and to know things are working, but you just got to push through. But when you're passionate about something, it doesn't really matter what it costs to get it going. You'll figure it out, and you have true passion about it. You're going to work those long hours, and it's not going to feel as bad as it's working long hours on something that you don't really care about, and you're seeing people make money. If people want to make money, just go ahead and get a job, and I bet you 9 out of 10 jobs will net you more money for the time invested than 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs out there trying to build their own business. I just think if it's money, if it's having the big car, the shiny office and a sweet business card and nice clothes and the Instagram life and be able to charter a jet. You should just go out and work crazy amounts of hours in the highest paying job you can, spend all your free time and fill up all your free time, not with television and movies and vacations, but working another job, because that is probably going to be the most reliable way of bringing in money, controlling your costs and protecting yourself on the downside. And if you save a good portion of it, you have a nice savings rate, invest it, you will be rich. If you want to be rich, you can be rich. You just have to play the savings rate game. But if you want to build a product, if you have a passion about a product or a service or a program or a hobby or something like that, you can go after that too. But don't confuse wanting the money with somehow being passionate for a product, service, or business. It's not the same thing. That's it.